Yeah, so my people, I'm back with another live, and I want to say all praises to the Most High God, all praises to the Triune God who gives to us wisdom to comprehend and to decipher things and to make sense of it. I want to say all thanks to my Lord Jesus Christ for taking my place in death, and I just want to thank everyone who watched my video and subscribe to my channel. Um, But today, what we're going to be doing, we're going to take up a channel, a challenge that a Muslim gave to me on Facebook. He's running around Facebook, challenging Christian Prince, challenging different people. Al Fadi, I think I've seen a challenge to Al Fadi. I've seen a challenge to Christian Prince, but mostly Christian Prince. I think Christian Prince live in his head rent free than anybody else. Because I don't know, you know where to find Christian Prince, and you're a Muslim. He's always willing to talk to the Muslims, but you are telling and saying he must come to Facebook and talk to you. I have a feeling that this Muslim have already come across Christian Prince and was disciplined by Christian Prince. So he challenged Christian Prince. Now he set a challenge to me. And I will show you guys the challenge. Like right now, let me find this challenge and show you what this guy's challenge is. So here we go. Here is his challenge. So he says his name, you see his name here. Let me make sure that you guys are seeing everything as much as we are seeing it. Okay, so his name is Redewaan Abdullah. So he got Muhammad's pagan father name. Muhammad said his father, whose name is Abdullah, will be in hellfire. So the thing is this guy, will this guy be also in hellfire? I don't know. You would have to ask Muhammad that, because Muhammad seems to be able to tell who is going to be in hellfire and who is not going to be in hellfire. He got that power. I don't know who gave it to him, but he had that power to say his father will be in the fire of hell. So who knows? Anyway, um, so the guy says, Olga Yates challenge. The poor idol did not even know about the hour. What did he create out of nothing? So he's saying that his God create out of nothing. But do we have any proof that his God create anything? No, we don't. All we have is a man that whose wife, a man who married to a baby, a little 6-year-old girl, and then that 6-year-old girl grow up and have sex with the 6-year-old girl, have sex with the girl when the girl was 9 years old. Then this little girl tell a story, maybe grow when she become 14, 15, whatever. She tell a story that Muhammad was bewitched to the point where he was delusional, thinking he have done things which in fact he did not do. So this is the man that told this Abdul that his God create everything. And this Abdul believed that. Poor Muslims, man. All we can do for these guys is pray for them. So he's making a challenge. He's saying, he's saying the poor idol did not know about the hour. What did he create out of nothing? So do you see what these Abduls do? Jesus, who is Jesus? The man that God became. He became a man like you and I, to die, to take our place in death. He became a man like you and I. According to the book of Philippians, The book of Philippians told us that he emptied himself, taking the form of a bondservant, that he existed in the form of God, and he emptied himself, taking a form, and that's who these Abdul can uh, compete with when it comes to their God. The man that God became is who they can compete with. So the Son of God became a man, and this is who the Abduls are putting up the totality of their God against, the man that God became. So Jesus says, only the Father know the hour of his return. So he says, okay, what can he do? How could he create from nothing when he don't know the hour? Wow. Do you see that? So in the beginning, according to the book of John, John chapter 1, verse 1 to 14, he said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So we know that this Word was God. And the Bible says the same that was in the beginning with God. All things were created through him or by him. So the Greek could be translated by or through. So, and that's verse 3. Now, if we skip and we go to verse 10, he says, he was in the world, and the world was created through him or by him, and the world did not recognize him. If you go to verse 14, he said the word became flesh. So the word became human being. And this human being is who these Abdul can equate their God to the human manifestation of the Son of God. That's who they can equate their God to. But right through the verse that I just quoted, he shows that the Logos or the Memra created everything. Through him, all things were created through him, which is verse John 1, verse 3, are by him, which is the same verse. He came into the world, and the world was made by him, and the world did not recognize him, verse 10. So we see all things were created by him. So this Abdul asks, poor idol did not even did not even knew about the hour. What did he create out of nothing? So before he came to the earth as a man and speak to us, before he came to the earth as a man and speak to us, the Bible is telling us that he created everything. And we look at Philippians. We look at the book of Philippians. Sorry, I think I said Ephesians. I made a mistake there. We look at the book of Philippians, and the book of Philippians is telling you that he existed in the form of God, and he emptied himself, taking the form of a bondservant, and coming in the likeness of man. And being found in the likeness of man, he humbled himself. So we see that he existed as God, and then he became a man. So who is he? God as a man. God as a man. And God as a man, does he have limitations? You know, from my belief, from what I read, yes, he does have limitations, because what? He became exactly like us, according to Hebrews 2, verse 7, I think. Hebrews 2, verse 7, he became exactly like us. So this is who the Abduls can equate their God to. Because what? You know, if you look down here on what this Abdul is saying, just look down, you will see where this Abdul is going. Look where this Abdul is going. I will share the screen of some comment in a minute, but look where this Abdul is going. Let me show you where this Abdul is going. Okay, so here is where this Abdul is going. It's because he's quoting the Quran. This Abdul is actually quoting the Quran. So here we go. Or were they created out of naught, or were they the creators? I don't know what, I think that's the Quran. Were they created out of naught, or are they the creators? What did Allah create out of naught? Can we find anything that Allah has done during the time of Muhammad to prove that Allah is the creator who created out of naught? No. We cannot find anything to prove that Allah is the creator. You know what these Abdul do? Like, you will listen to people like Zakir Naik, and Zakir Naik have a formula that is the most stupid formula ever. The most stupid formula ever. Zakir Naik says, this is in the Quran, and this is scientific, and this is all this stuff. So it proves that it comes from the creator, because who knows more about the creation than the creator? Who can tell you? No, he said, who can tell you about the creation? He actually used a car as his analogy. Who can tell you more about a car than the manufacturer of the car? Is that true? Who can tell you about the car than the manufacturer of the car? That's totally a lie, a stupid lie. Because what we know about manufacturing cars, and this Abdul have no idea about manufacturing car, because you know what? He live in third world countries. You know, when you are in the United States that manufacture car, we know the United States is one of the leading manufacturer of cars. What the manufacturer of the car does, what they do, they train dealers to know about their car. So when your car broke, like my car broke about what year was that? 4 years ago, I had a car, and the car transmission goes out on me, and I take it to the dealership. I didn't take it to the manufacturer, and the dealership is not owned by the manufacturer. I took it to the dealership, and the dealership could tell me what's wrong with it and could fix it in a short time. Why? Because the manufacturer trained the dealership to take care of these cars, and that's what they do here in America. You have the manufacturer. You could call the manufacturer about something that's wrong with your car, and they will tell you, oh, these are recommended dealers within your area that can fix your car. But they are not the manufacturer. They are just dealers that employ people who knows how to fix the car. And what the stupidity of these people is telling you that Satan cannot know. Satan was in heaven and was there when there was the creation. Iblis, according to the Quran, the counterfeit Satan, was there when the so-called Adam and Eve was created. When the God asked him to bow to Adam and Eve. But what this guy is gonna say, that Iblis don't know about the human body and how it functions, or the creation of the earth and all that stuff. It's stupid. It's stupid to say that Satan doesn't know about the creation of the earth. But anyway, so he says, were they created out of naught, or are they the creators? But what have Allah done for us to be calling Allah of the Quran the creator? So let me make it plain. What have Allah of the Quran done for you to call him the creator? Nothing at all. Nothing. The one supernatural thing that only the creator can do, give life. Who did Allah say give it? Who did Allah say give it? Jesus, the Isa of the Quran. The Isa, the Jesus of the Quran. Make bird out of and of out of clay. But what have he done to any man in the time of Muhammad to prove that he is the creator? Nothing. Nothing at all. Not one thing to prove that he is the creator. I was watching Hamza, the stupid hamster, the Muslim ham sandwich of Speaker Khan. And when I think about 4 girls, he was challenging 4 girls. I think it was 4 girls. And you know what? He would not. He wanted to evade their question so much. All he wanted to talk about is Jesus and the Trinity, trying to evade their question. And when they asked him the question, what made him become a Muslim? What convinced him something? I'm paraphrasing what they say. He said the Quran. The Quran that have the most fairy tale-ish story of ants talking and running from Solomon, the story of bird fighting in battle and all these stupid stuff. But the craziness is this. He said the Quran, and the Quran is a miracle of Muhammad. The Quran is the miracle of Muhammad. And why is the Quran the miracle of Muhammad? Because of its poetry. I don't find the poetry of the Quran convincing. You know, I see people go about and said, oh, he got all these figures of speech and all this stuff. I don't find the poetry of the Quran any form convincing at all. In any way convincing. As no top class poetry or anything. If you should take the best part of the Quran and submit it to a poetry competition in today's era, where do you think you would go? Submit it to a poetry competition without people knowing that it's the Quran. Where do you think it would go versus some of these poetries that are here and the past poets? Where do you think it would go? The Quran is no poetry of no class, nothing. The Quran is just nonsense, you know? In a sense. It don't make no sense, you know? Doesn't make any sense. The Quran is more, if you submit portion of the Quran as a fairy tale book, it will do better. If you sell portion of the Quran as a fairy tale book, it will do better as a fairy tale book than it will do as poetry. But this guy says, is God create from nothing? But what did he create? This is what we want to know. So let me see here. It was narrated from the prophet, peace be upon him. What says it? It was narrated from the prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, that his parents are in hell. Yes. He did. So the guy have the name of Muhammad's parent, but Muhammad said of Muhammad's father, but Muhammad said his parent is in hell. So the man asked Muhammad, where is my father? And Muhammad said, in hell. When the man turned away, he called him back and said, my father and your father are in hell. Something is not right with Muhammad. Something is definitely not right in Muhammad. With Muhammad. Is there a place called hell at this moment? You know, is there a place called hell at this moment that that people go to? You know that Muhammad was a cult, a cult leader. Is there a place called hell that people go to at this very moment? That you are in a place called hell that you go to, and there's a place in this earth called hell that you go to, and you're in there while you're dead. But look at the nonsense of Muhammad. Muhammad said his father is in hell. But according to Muhammad, in the same, I think, Sahih al-Bukhari, I don't know which what this is, if this is Sahih al-Bukhari or Sahih Muslim, but in Sahih al-Bukhari, Muhammad says, on the day of resurrection, Allah will show his shin, and the people will follow whoever they worship. And that's the time that they will go to hell. If you read that hadith, you will see that this is the time that they will go to hell. But he said his father is already in hell. Do you see? And Allah will, according to the Quran, it will say Allah will on that day of judgment, Allah will say this, this, and this, and this. Taste the fire and do this. But here is Muhammad telling people that his father is in hell. Muhammad was hearing these beliefs from other sources. That's, other sources where people were teaching these beliefs in the days of Muhammad, that there is a place called hell that you go to and suffer until but the Bible doesn't teach that thing, that there is a place called hell that you go to and suffer, because according to Jesus says, the Son of Man will come in his Father's glory, and he shall reward every man according to their deed. Your deed, you will get your reward when the Son of Man returns. So we know that you don't die and go to hellfire when you die, because your reward is coming. Your reward is coming. You're sleeping in the grave, and your reward will come. Everybody will come back to life, and their reward will come. So you see that Muhammad was a fraud, and nothing that Muhammad say can be trusted. So anyway, let's get back to it. So if we look at what the Muslim is saying, that he want to say that is God create, that is God is created. But what did his God do to prove that he is created? Now let's go to the Quran for a minute. Let's go to the Quran for a minute and just take a look at something that is written inside the Quran, and we'll see how this doesn't even make sense. And we're gonna go to Sahih International, and we'll see that even in Sahih International, we realize that whoever translates Sahih International is a buffoon. And you will see why this person is a buffoon, because the Quran, and whoever write the Quran is a buffoon, because the Quran is puzzling these people to the point where they don't know what to do with the Quran. The Quran is so puzzling to them that they don't know what to do with it. They have no idea what to do with it. So you will see right through the stuff, they're making all these mistakes. They're just making a bunch of mistakes. So here we go. Look at Sahih International, and we'll see that something is wrong there. And you show me if there's not something wrong. So let's start at verse 8. Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, for them is a reward uninterrupted. Say, do you indeed disbelieve in he who created the earth in 2 days and attribute to him equals? So here is this God saying that he created the earth in 2 days. So he created the earth in 2 days. That is the Lord of the worlds. So that is the Lord of the world, of the worlds. So Allah is calling himself the Lord of the world. Look at so we go to verse 10. And he placed on the earth firmly, set mountains over its surface, and he blessed it and determine therein its creatures. So he put in bracket creatures, sustenance in 4 days without distinction, the information of those who ask, for the information of those who ask. So creatures are in the earth. Do you see this here? So Allah put sustenance therein, its sustenance, its creatures' sustenance. So he put his creatures' sustenance in the earth. So if you put the creatures' sustenance in the earth, then there got to be creatures in the earth too. Am I lying? Because what sustains some creatures? What sustain some creatures are the creatures. So if you put the creature's sustenance in the earth, you would have to put the creatures in the earth, like literally. But anyway, let's continue to read, because that's not what I want you guys to see. Okay, now we go to 11. So look at 11 real keenly. He says, then he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke, and said to it, so the heaven was smoke, and he said to it and to the earth, come into being. Do you see the stupidity? Do you see the stupidity already? Because we know that into being is in parentheses, but why does this person confuse himself? Because the earth is already created. Do you want to see? You see, and we place on the earth firmly mountain. So the earth is already created over its surface, and he blessed it and determined within it creature sustenance for 4 days, in 4 days without distinction, for the information of those who ask. So the earth is already created. But then in verse 11, he said, and he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke, and said to it and to the earth, come into being, willingly or by compulsion. They said, we have come willingly. But do you see the stupidity into the poetry? There is stupidity in the poetry. In 2 places, there is stupidity in the poetry. First thing is that the earth is already created. So what was Allah saying? Come into being, or come. What was he telling? Come willingly or by compulsion. Come where? And notice what he said, by compulsion. Do you see the stupidity? Come willingly or by compulsion. So the earth and the heaven could refuse to come, according to Allah. And if you look at Surah 33, verse 72, you see where the earth and the heaven refuse the religion of Allah. You see that? So all we see in the Quran is a book of madness and book of storytelling and a book of madness. Totally a book of madness. So what did this God create? When the God cannot get the creation story to the mind of creative people, because I'm a poet and I write poetry. I've been writing poetry since I was a young boy. I will share some of my poetry one day. But this God writing poetry, because this is according to them and according to Hamza, the Muslim language, that Muhammad came in the time of poetry, and this is poetry. But listen to the stupidity of this poetry, because we are analyzing this poetry today. You look at the stupidity of the poetry. Then he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke. But remember, the heaven is already created. Not the heaven, the earth is already created. The earth is already created. So he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke, and he said to it, and to the earth, come into being according to the Sai International. So, but even if we take out the into being, which I see it was inserted, because it confused the translators. They could not make sense of this poetry. And yet still, no one can write like Allah. No one can write like Allah. But guess what? To make Allah's writing make sense, Sai International have to put something in there, and it still cannot make sense. Still cannot make sense. Even if he say, come willingly or by compulsion, what kind of poetry is that? People would be looking and said, I cannot see why, if we in class analyzing this poetry, we say I couldn't see why you would tell the earth and the heaven to come by compulsion, as if they have the mind to resist. This is stupid poetry. This is poetry, but this is man-made poetry. Man-made poetry. Like I would say, I get up in the morning and it's a very snowy day in Indiana here. And I said to the sun, I could see the sun behind the cloud in the sky. And I said to the sun, I said to the sun, come out, let's talk face to face. Shine your light in this gloomy place from the top of the dome. Right? But anyway, I'm telling the sun to come out. And I'm saying to the sun, don't let me force you to come. So today I say to you, O sun, don't let me force you to come. That's poetry. That is poetry, and that's man-made poetry. But when God is telling something that he have control over to come by compulsion, and the thing is not something that have free will, because we know the earth coming into creation, the earth being created, have nothing to do with free will. If it's a come together by come willingly or by compulsion. So God would have to compel the earth to come, because the earth can resist not coming. The things created can resist being created and have to be compelled to be created. This is stupid poetry. So what did this God create? What did this God create? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And if you go to the next verse, you will see even more, because this is poetry and this is my thing. You know, as I say, I do poetry. Look at the next verse and you will see how that verse before make no sense. And he completed, so this is verse 12, and he completed them as 7 heavens within 2 days, and inspire in each heaven its command. Do you see that? Inspire in each heaven its command. Inspire in each heaven its command. So things are, according to the Bible, we see the where it says Jesus sustained everything with his word. So Jesus sustained everything with his word. So even my life now is sustained because of the word that Jesus spoke. The word that Jesus spoke is giving me sustenance. The the tree, the river, the flowing of the river, the water sustained by Jesus. And in the Quran, it says within 2 days, the heaven create within 7 heaven create within 2 days, and inspire in each heaven its command. This make a lot more sense. But where do we see stupidity is that the command is inspired, but then the heaven and the earth could be forced to create, forced to come into creation, forced to be created, because it could be compelled to create. It could resist its creator. Do you see that? It could resist its creator because come willingly or by compulsion. Come willingly or by compulsion. And notice again, go back to verse 12. And we adorn the nearest heaven with lamps as protection. Do you see that? We pay attention to this part. And we adorn the nearest heaven with lamps and as protection. What protection? That is the determination of the exalted in I, the knowing. This is, look at what he called himself, the knowing. We'll show you that Allah don't know. We'll show you that Allah doesn't know. He said the knowing. But look, he said we adorn the nearest heaven with lamps and as protection. So the nearest heaven have lamps and as protection. So the lamps are the protection. The lamps are the protection because we adorn the nearest heaven with lamps and as protection. Protection from what? Do you want to see protection from what? Look at this. And you see that the Quran is from a stupid place. A very stupid place. Now we go straight to Sahih International. So let's show you what the protection is. And we see how this Quran is man-made. It's a man-made thing from what man believe. You know, when I was a kid, I was growing up in Jamaica, and ask any Jamaican who are my age, if you are in your 40s, you know, ask any Jamaican and you will see. They will tell you, because, you know, we'll tell you what people say. When we see meteorite, the movement of meteorite, because in those days we were around the older people. We were around older people. We didn't spend a lot of times like these kids spend around younger people. We spent around older people, and these older people didn't have the knowledge that we have today. And when you ask, like, hey, what is that? When you see this, the meteorite move across the sky, you know, and you ask, what is that? Guess what they will tell you? It's a star. They literally tell you that it is a star. And notice what the Quran says. They set up lamp to and they set up lamp and as also as protection. So let me read it again so you guys could see. And we adorn the nearest heaven with lamps and as protection. But let's show you protection from what? And this is why we know that Allah of the Quran is nothing but an idiot. The mind of an idiot. And we have certainly beautified the nearest heaven. Notice he said the nearest heaven again. With stars. And have for them that. And have them. Notice the translator again put in the word from. They put the word from. And notice what it says. And we have certainly beautified the heaven with stars, and have them what is thrown at the devils, and have prepared for them the punishment of the blaze. Pictal, let's look at Pictal. And verily we have beautified the world's heaven with lamps. See the same lamps? Remember the word protection from Quran 41, verse 12, I think verse 12 or 13, verse 13, I think, that we read earlier. Notice this. And we have beautified the world's heaven with lamps, and we have made missiles for the devils, and for them we have prepared the doom of the flame. But listen to this. And we have from of old adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made lamps. See this? Because that's exactly how we should be. The lamps were the missile, because according to the next verse, and this is why Yusuf Ali could translate this way, and we have from of old adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made the lamps as missile to drive away the evil ones, to drive away the devils, and have prepared for them the penalty of the blazing fire. So you see, look at what this says, and you will see that the verse is talking about the lamps are the protection. And we have adorned the nearest heaven with lamps and has protection. As protection. So what is the protection? Wow. What is the protection? Wow. And this is the stupidity of this God. Like, we have to adorn the heaven with protection. Why? Because guess what? The devils could come and listen to the conversation of Allah. The devils could go far up to close to Allah's sitting above his throne. And they could listen to the conversation of Allah. Allah have no other way to stop them from coming so close to him, more than to use the stars to as missile to drive them away. What a stupidity! What a stupidity! In space we have other planets. We have other planets in space. We have not only that, we have the moon in space. We have, things in space. And sometimes we have things that break off from things in space and is traveling to space. And then they travel to our atmosphere. When they get to the lowest portion of our atmosphere, they will crash into the earth. Because when they get to that low portion of the atmosphere, the law of gravity changes, in the lower portion of the atmosphere. If you were to be where the moon is and you exit an aircraft, what would happen to you? Would you fall to the earth like boom and fall all the way down to the earth? No. You'll be floating around up there. You'll be floating around up there. But if you should go to where an aeroplane fly and you fall out of an aeroplane, what would happen to you? You crash so fast to the earth, because the law of gravity have different laws in different places. You know, that's how it is. You know, so set different restriction, different limits in different places in the atmosphere. So what happened is that why these meteorite, including the one that the Muslim bow to, the black stone is a meteorite. What happened to these meteorites? So they crash to the earth. They come into the earth atmosphere where they are not floating no more, but they are falling, and that's why they crash. So when we see something flying across the atmosphere, you know, our atmosphere is a meteorite, you know, sailing across our atmosphere. It's not being launched at any devil. It's not being launched at any devil. The Quran is just stupid poetry from a 7th century caravan robber and his friends. That's what the Quran is. A stupid poetry from. So what Muhammad do? Muhammad pirate as much as he could pirate from the Christians and the Jews around him. But because I don't, to be real with you, if Muhammad could read or not is questionable. But he put these things together because Muhammad didn't want to learn anything. He wanted to dominate things. He didn't want to learn new things, like learn from the people. A Muslim was once seen reading the Torah, and Muhammad stopped him from reading the Torah. Muhammad stopped him from reading the Torah by telling him all that he needs is in the Quran. So, but you are Muslim today reading the Torah. So Muhammad stopped the man in his days from reading the Torah. Because why? That's how a cult work. That's how a cult work. Stop you from educating yourself. Stop you from seeing so that you will continue to believe in the stupidity of Islam. So look at this idiot. All theories, gravity don't exist. Do you see the stupid? Who told you that the law of gravity is a theory? It's something proven. This is the same guy. Now you see how naive he is. He said all theories, gravity don't exist. Gravity don't exist. So scientists look at something, a phenomenon in the universe, and they gave it a name, and you said it doesn't exist. Do you see how stupid this idiot is? Look, as I say, it's proven. If you go to the limit where the moon is, and you got out of your spacecraft, you're not going to crash to the earth. You could get lost in space and travel off to the place where you die, because you're lost and you're without oxygen, you're going to die. But you're not going to come crash land into the earth if you are up that high. But if you are where the aeroplane fly, that's poetry right there. Better poetry than the Quran. If you are up where the aeroplane fly, and I speak and I do not lie, and you are falling from the sky, when you fall, you're sure to die. Because there is no gravity, there is no nothing there that holds you there. Nothing that holds you there. So that's what they call gravity. See the guy talking nonsense. But anyway, so what do we see? Does Allah create anything? No, Allah doesn't create anything. There is no proof that the God of the Quran create anything at all. The Allah of the Quran, there is no proof that he create anything, because he did not do anything during the time of Muhammad to show that he is creator. You know what he did? He let Muhammad down. He let Muhammad down. That's all that God did. The God of the Quran let Muhammad down. So I will show you how I know that the God of the Quran let Muhammad down. The God of the Quran told Muhammad, I will protect you. I will protect you from your enemies. That's what the God of the Quran told Muhammad. Did he protect him from his enemies? No. No. He did not protect him from his enemies. What happened to Muhammad? Muhammad was bewitched, according to them. Muhammad was bewitched. But I don't believe Muhammad was bewitched. I believe Muhammad was always delusional. Always. Even the angel that he claimed he met was delusions. I believe that. Satanic delusion. That's what I believe that is. Satanic delusion. And Aisha told us that Muhammad was so delusional that he used to imagine he did things which in fact he did not do. So let's share some of this comment from the same guy, because since this is about him. You don't get to the moon, now can you land on it? Prove that. I want to provide some proof for that. You don't get to the moon, but now can you land on it? But Muhammad was taken to heaven on a mystical donkey. Was Muhammad taken to heaven on a mystical donkey? He said, there is no proof of gravity. Oh, wow. There is no proof of gravity, but people have traveled the space and they have no proof of gravity. Look at you. You're in the 21st century. You're naive, Abdul. That's what Islam will do to you, man. Islam will make you stupid, bro. Look at this. Dying don't mean, look at it, not protected. So this guy said dying don't mean not protected. Wow. Okay, let's show how naive your God and the Quran is. He said dying don't mean not protected. I'm glad you see that. Dying do not mean that you're not protected. Do you hear what this Abdul said? Dying doesn't mean that you're not protected. Wow. So let's look at this. Let me show you what your God said to Muhammad. Let me show you what your God said to Muhammad. I'm going to show you that your God is a liar and a fraud. Your God is a liar and a fraud and should not be trusted. A total liar, your God is a total liar and a fraud. I want to put highlight on this part right here. That's the part that I want to highlight. This is from your Quran, Surah 16, verse 99. And he, Satan, has no power over those who believe or trust in their Lord. 16, verse 100. His power is limited to those who choose him as their master, those who choose him as their God. So why was Muhammad bewitched to the point where he was delusional? And did your God kill Muhammad? Did your God poison Muhammad? You say dying don't mean that not protected. But notice what he says. Satan has no power over those who believe and trust in their Lord. 16:100. His power is limited to those who choose him as their master, those who choose him as their God. So tell me, how was Muhammad bewitched? Did Muhammad choose Satan as his God? Yes, he did. You know how I know that? How I know that Muhammad chose Satan as his God? Let me share that with you. I will show you how I know Muhammad chose Satan as his God. Because the whole thing about the Quran is Satan. Everything about the Quran is Satan. And I will show you this. So look at this. Okay, let me get your stuff off screen first. I'm gonna share your comment in a minute, because since you want to dialogue, let's share your comment. So we're gonna be looking at your comments in a minute, but right now let's share this. Okay, we know that Muhammad, according to history, Muhammad initially believed that it was Satan who was giving him your God. According to history, Muhammad initially believed that it was Satan who was giving him your God. Ibn Ishaq, Surat Rasul, the life of the Prophet Muhammad, the life of Muhammad, page 106. Muhammad say, I thought, woe is me, poet are possessed. So Muhammad initially believed that he was possessed. But look how stupid Muhammad was. Very, very stupid man. The Quran says, we found this in Surah 6, verse 112. The Quran says, this is the Quran speaking, that the God appointed for every prophet an enemy from the jinn, meaning a devil, that the God appointed for every prophet a jinn, a devil. He appointed a devil for every prophet. And according to that very verse, I will show you the verse in a minute. According to that very verse, so let me just look at, let's look at the verse. Let's look at the verse, because this is important. We're going to read that verse. So Surah 6, verse 1, 1, 2. So if you look at the verse, let's see if we can pick up this right here. Okay, so we're going to read this verse in a minute. We're going to show you this verse in a minute. I think I should show the verse first. So let's show the verse first, and then I get back to what I was saying. So let's show the verse first, because it's important that we use the Quran just to show you what kind of God these Abduls have. So if you look at this here, look at it here. This is Quran 6, verse 12. And we have made for every prophet an enemy, devilish human and jinns. So devilish human and also devils, because a jinn is a devil. Whispering to one another some elegant words of this deception. Some elegant word of deception. Whispering to one another some elegant words of deception. Had it been your Lord's will, they would not have done such a thing. So leave them and their deceit. So this jinn, this demon, is caught up in elegant words of deception. This is the key here. Elegant words of deception. Now listen to Muhammad. Now we're going to go back and show you what Muhammad says. And this is how we know that it's the devil that gives you a religion. Remember, the jinn are involved. This jinn that the so-called God put on the prophet are involved in elegant words of deception. But listen to what Muhammad say here. Elegant words of deception. So, the God appointed for every prophet an enemy from the jinn, meaning Satan or devil. And the job of the appointed devil is to inspire decorative speech of delusion Or, that's one translation say that, decorative speech of delusion. Another translation say elegant words of deception. Elegant words of deception. But Muhammad is telling his companion that his appointed enemy, the devil, whose job is elegant words of deception or decorative speech of delusion, is commanding him for good. Sahih Muslim 39. Muhammad told his followers that his appointed devil, who involved in elegant words of deception, is commanding him for good. Why was a devil commanded Muhammad? Why was a devil commanding Muhammad? Muhammad is a madman, a total madman. So let's read what this Abdul, some more of what this Abdul said. What he talking about now? The moon is a lamp, the biggest oaks, including Jesus. What are you talking about? The moon is a lamp. Oh, the moon is a lamp. I don't know. So what where are we talking about moon? When we're talking about the moon is a lamp. Who we're talking about lamp? But do you throw the moon at the devils? The lower heaven is in the lower heaven you have lamps that are thrown at the devil. Where do you get that from? Where did your God get that stupidity from? He says, good and bad die. What does that mean? Good and bad die. Your God promised to protect Muhammad from his enemy and said, Satan have no power over Muhammad. That's what he says. Satan have no power over Muhammad, but Muhammad became delusional to a point where he was imagining that he did things that he did not do. So Satan had power over your Muhammad. So if your God is saying Satan have no power over those who do not believe in him or do not take him as God, why did Satan have power over your prophet? No, he says we are talking about dying, not protected. Different topic. If your God said, I will protect you from the people, because according to Surah, is it Surah 5? You know, according to Surah 5, your God said he will protect Muhammad from the people. Let me find it again. Your God said he will protect Muhammad from the people. That's what he says. In Surah 5, he said, I will protect you from the people. Right here, Abdul, you will see it right here. Let me show you. How is this protection from the people? He said, we are talking about we are talking about dying, not protected. I was talking about protected. That's what I was talking about. Different topic. We are talking about both. Your God said to Muhammad, Allah shall protect you from the people. Read it. Surah 5 verse 67. Allah shall protect you from the people. Yet Muhammad's wife claimed that a Jew bewitched Muhammad to the point where he was delusional and began to imagine that he had done a thing which in fact he had not done. Sahih al-Bukhari 31:75. So tell me now, how did your God protect Muhammad? Your God did not protect Muhammad at all. Your God did not protect Muhammad at all. We are talking about protection. We are talking about the death of Muhammad. How did he die? By being poisoned. By being poisoned by a Jew. By being poisoned by a Jew. So the question is, since your God said he will protect Muhammad from the people, was it your God that allowed Muhammad to be poisoned? Did your God allow the Jews to poison Muhammad? The Jewish woman to poison Muhammad? That's the question I want to ask you. So let's continue to look at some of the stuff that this guy is saying. He's saying a lot. He says, show the part where Satan is cursed in the Quran. Do you notice this guy? He says, show the part where Satan is cursed. Which Satan is cursed? This is the question that I want to ask this Muslim. Which Satan? Because according to Islam, there are many Satans. So which Satan was cursed? The one that sleep in your nose at night? The one that sleep in your head at night? Or Iblis? Was it the one that was commanding Muhammad that was cursed? The Satan that was commanding Muhammad for good, according to Sahih Muslim, was he the one that was cursed, or was Iblis cursed? So there's a Satan called Iblis, but there is one that was commanding Muhammad, and there is one that sleep in your nose. According to Muhammad, there is a Satan that sleep in your nose. Is he cursed, or is Muhammad accommodating him in your nose? Muhammad inviting him to sleep in your head at night. Look at this. Just look at this. So who is cursed? That's what I want to know. Who is cursed? So here we go now. Look, and you see that Satan is not cursed. One person called Iblis that is cursed in your Quran. One person called Iblis, but all the other Satans are blessed by your God. So who knows who is Iblis? Because according to the Bible, God did not ask anybody to bow to Adam. So who is this Iblis that was asked to bow to Adam? That's a fraudulent that have no historical support. So listen to this. Listen to this now. Look at this. Let me show you what Muhammad do, and show you that Muhammad is a tool for Satan. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the apostle of Allah, said, when any of you awake up from your sleep and perform ablution, he must clean his nose 3 times, for the devil spend the night in the interior of the nose. Sahih Muslim, Book 2, Hadith number 462. So this is what Muhammad did. Muhammad invited Satan, his pet demon, the one that was commanding him, the one that commanded Muhammad to sleep in your nose like a hotel, and he commanded you to clean Satan's room before you pray to the made-up God that he and Satan gave you. And your name, what is your name? Abdullah. Abdullah. So Muhammad turned you into a slave of Satan, because you got to clean your nose before you pray to the God that Muhammad gave you. And your name is Abdullah. So you are the slave of that God of Muhammad, the God that was commanding Muhammad. And who was commanding Muhammad? According to Sahih Muslim 39. Who was commanding Muhammad? And Satan was commanding Muhammad. Muhammad said the Satan command him, but for good. Where have you ever heard Satan commanding anyone to do good? Where have you ever heard that before, Muhammad? That Satan was commanding anyone to do good? If I should show you some of the good that Satan commanded Muhammad to do, let's show you some of the good that Satan commanded Muhammad to do. I'm going to show you some of the good that Satan commanded Muhammad to do. Since we are on the topic, I shouldn't get out of that. I should stay right there, because everything is right there. Okay, look at this. This is one of the good that Satan commanded Muhammad to do. So I'm going to show you what my Jesus say. Let's show you what my Jesus say first. Here is what my Jesus said. Plain as day and so beautiful. Plain as day and so beautiful. Look what my Jesus said. Matthew 7 verse 12. In everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. And do you want to see what Muhammad did? And he is the excellent example for you to follow. Let's show you what Muhammad did. This is what Muhammad did. I'll let you. Muhammad and his men went on escapade, captured women. And when the men asked Muhammad if they could have sex with the women and ejaculate in them, Muhammad allowed them to yeah, go ahead and do it. And then sold the women as slaves. Sahih al-Bukhari, book 32, hadith 430, book 34, hadith 432. So that's the devil behind your religion. Your religion is a devil religion. So let's continue to look at some of the things that this guy say. So my brother say, well done. Thank you. This guy say you can't land on the moon. That's not something that you can prove. So we're not going to deal with it. We're not going to get into that. So he said, all die. Where Quran say Muhammad was poisoned. This guy is a cartoon, man. The Quran is not a historical book. You don't realize that. The Quran is not a historical book. The Quran is a book that talks after the fact and made up story about what Jesus did and what Jesus will say. You don't notice that? Conjectures in the Quran. What Jesus will say, what Jesus did that nobody knew about. What Moses did that nobody knew about. What Noah's son did that nobody knew about. So your Quran is not a trustworthy book. You know, so I don't know why you think that your Quran is, they say too much. And where's the history of your prophet? Where is the history of your prophet? Where did the Quran say that Muhammad was poisoned? No, I asked you a question. Where did the Quran say Muhammad was married to Aisha? Where did the Quran say Muhammad was married to Khadija? Where did the Quran say that Muhammad what else should I say? Was walking around with semen on his clothes. The Quran don't tell nothing about Muhammad. Muhammad is only mentioned what? A couple times, not very much in the Quran. The Quran decided to tell, dedicate a whole chapter of deception to Miriam, but don't tell the life of Muhammad. This is a stupid book. So this Quran dedicate a whole chapter to this person called Miriam. I give it a name, Miriam, which is not even dedicated to the woman, because some of the verses in Surah Miriam have nothing to do with Miriam. The Quran is a book of illiteracy and stupidity, man. You don't see that. Where you guys paying attention to the poetry in the Quran, we are paying attention to the construct, how it's construct, the meaningless. Is it meaningful? No, it's not. So, let me show you again what Muhammad said about the devil. Oh, Muhammad was in love with devils. Muhammad was in love with devils. Let me show you how Muhammad was in love with the devil. Your prophet was a devil lover. Here is Muhammad. Sahih Muslim, 2084, book 37, hadith 67. Jibir Abdullah, here goes the name again. Slave of Satan. Jibir B. Abdullah reported that Allah's messenger said, there should be a bedding for a man, a bedding for his wife, and the third one for his guest, and the fourth is for Satan. Muhammad was making bed in people's house for Satan, man. This is how deceptive Muhammad was. Here is Muhammad again. Sunnah Abu Dawud 41, 42, book 34, hadith 123, narrated Jibir bin Abdullah, the same guy. The messenger of Allah mentioned bedding and said, there should be a bedding for a man, bedding for his wife, the third for a guest, but the fourth for the devil. Muhammad needed his butt whooped, man. Muhammad needed his butt whooped. I don't know which. If Muhammad came in this century, somebody would have whooped his butt. Muhammad was a madman, man. Muhammad was a big time mad donkey. Sunan Anisa 33, 85, book 26, hadith 190. It was narrated by Jibir bin Abdullah that the messenger of Allah said, a bed for a man, a bed for his wife, same thing. So let's get into it. So a bed for his wife, a third for his guest, and the fourth is for the shaitan. What a way he loves shaitan. Muhammad even said he get a chance, even Iblis. Muhammad love Iblis. Muhammad is in love even with Iblis. Muhammad was boasting to his companion. He said he get a chance to fight Iblis, and he beat up Iblis. This guy was living in a fairy tale world, man. Muhammad said he beat up Iblis, and he get a chance to tie Iblis to the mosque so that the people will see Iblis. And he remembers Solomon. So he didn't do it. Can you imagine? You get a chance to beat up Iblis, but you didn't, and tie him up, and you didn't do it. So here comes this guy, though. He said, I'm skipping his comments. So I haven't skipped any of his comments. I've been reading in line his comments. Listen to this idiot. The only history of prophets is in the Quran. The only history of a prophet is in the Quran. Wow. So the Torah told a story about Noah. That's not history. It's just the Quran that came later from a delusional man is the only history of the prophet. The only history of the prophets is in the Quran. Wow. If you had told me that the history of Muhammad is in the Quran, I would have laughed at you, but not this much. The only history of the prophet is in the Quran. The only history of the prophet is in the Quran. Wow. Wow. So if the only history of the prophet is in the Quran, because you know what I found, a lot of you are ashamed of the history of Muhammad, so you have to say the only history of Muhammad is in the Quran. Only history of Muhammad is in the Quran. Who was Muhammad's father? Who was Muhammad's mother? Is not in the Quran. Where was Muhammad born? Is not in the Quran. You know, none of these things are in the Quran. So why is it? Why is it that that's the only history of the Prophet? The only history of the Prophet is in the Quran. That's stupidity and lie. Stupidity and lies. This is what you Muslims are ashamed of the Hadith, ashamed of your nasty Prophet. So what you decided to do? I'm Quran only. Quran cannot stand on its own. The Quran cannot stand on its own. I would like to ask you a question, but I'll leave that for another session because all people have an evil one. All people have an evil one. All people have an evil one. Says who? Says who? And where was that written before Muhammad? Where was that written before Muhammad that all people have an evil one? Where? Do you notice what you say? All people have an evil one, but Muhammad said that his evil one was commanding him. According to the Hadith, Muhammad said his evil one was commanding him for good. Never heard this story before. All people have an evil one. Says who? And where was that written before? Where was that? Anybody know about that before this man ran from the cave claiming that he is possessed? Read the name of our God from the Quran to see what type of God we have. Oh, wow. Wow. Read the name of your God from the Quran to see what type of God you have. And where did your God come from? A delusional madman. So you could say anything about your God to see what type of God you have. That make no sense, bro. Your Quran by itself cannot stand up. Your Quran by itself cannot stand up and will never stand up, because we have history of people living before Muhammad. So why is there no history of Muhammad? Why are you running from the history of Muhammad when we have history of people living before Muhammad? So why are you running from the history of Muhammad? That the Quran is the history of Muhammad. That's a lie. Total lie. The Quran didn't tell the life of Muhammad. See, when you look into the Bible and you start reading about Jesus, the Bible tell you about Jesus. It tell you about Moses, that Moses' sister put Moses on the river. It tell you all this stuff. We don't need the Quran. These things were written before the Quran came, telling you about the history of these people. When it comes to Moses, we know that Moses. When it comes to Noah, we know that Noah have 3 sons, not 4, according to your stupid Quran. So your Quran is no history at all. Because what? Nobody from the past can support nothing what that your Quran says. Nobody. The only part of your Quran that can be supported by history is the part that lines up with the Torah or the lines up with the gospel. Because I line up with anything that we can look and say this is plausible out here. Your Quran is just a book of conjectures that say, oh, Jesus will say this. Jesus will say. What Jesus will say. Is that history? What Jesus will say. Not what Jesus say that he will say, but what Jesus didn't talk to Muhammad and say, I will say this. Where did your Quran come from? Where did your Quran come from? And as I show you that your Quran is stupidness, because inside your Quran, you're talking about your God is the God of creation. But when we look at Surah 41, and we read from verse 8 all the way down to verse 13, we see that something is wrong. Something is totally wrong. Because here is this God saying to the earth and the heaven, come together, come willingly or by submission. Come willingly or by submission. I could say to my son, come here before I come here, or I'll come and get you. Because he's a human being with a will, and he could, when I say come here, he could turn his way and go, because he's a baby and he don't understand yet. But I could say to him, come here, baby, and daddy gonna come and get you. You know, and because he's a human being. And I could say to my co-worker, man, drive to work, or I pick you up on my way to work. Because he have his own free will, and he could drive to work. He could choose to drive to work and tell me, hey, I'm driving myself to work. Or he say, hey, come and pick me up. Because he have free will. But the heaven and the earth, your God would have to compel the heaven and the earth. Come together come willingly or by compulsion. That's just poetry, stupid poetry. Stupid poetry. So your God didn't create anything. And then what I want to get into is the part where you say, so let's get back to that part, because this is important to show you that your God is a nobody. Remember, I want to remember what you say. I want people to bear in mind what you say. Because you says, the poor idol did not know about the hour, or what did he create out of nothing. The Bible told us that all things were created through him, or all things were created by him. And he became man. He became man like us. So within his humanity, he have limitations. There's limitation on him within his humanity. And that's something that we expect. But let's look at your God. Let's take a journey into your God, because we are going to look at your God, because we're going to spend this time talking about what you say on the thread, and we don't let you look into your God. So let's look into your God a little bit. Okay, so we are going to look into your God a little bit. All right. So from here, okay, so let's look at the limitation of your God. As I have had this discussion before, I want you to look at this. I've had this discussion before, so I'm just going to use what I used before on that person, that Muslim. So let's look at that. All right. Sai International. Notice what your God is saying. Surah 60 verse 7. Perhaps Allah will. This is your God talking. The totality of your God. The totality of your God is saying, perhaps Allah will, between you and those to whom you have been enemy, among them, affection. Allah is competent. And Allah is forgiving and merciful. Notice what he's saying. Perhaps Allah will. What does perhaps mean? Perhaps is used to express uncertainty or possibility. So your God is not sure. Your God is not sure. So he's saying, perhaps he will. This is the totality of your God. Jesus is not the totality of my God. The human being, Jesus, the human nature, Jesus, is not the totality of my God. But you are in competition. You're putting up your God against the totality of your God against the human being that my God became. And when Jesus is not the totality of my God, the Father is my God, the Holy Spirit is my God, and Jesus is my God. But look at your God. The totality of your God is a guessing God. Perhaps Allah will. Perhaps Allah will. And notice what Allah said. Allah is competent. Competent how? When he don't know. Perhaps he will. Your God even have Muhammad guessing. In the Quran, Muhammad says he don't know what Allah will do with him. Because these are the kind of thing. Let me show you. Let me show you that. Where your God is guessing. Even in the salvation of Muhammad, your God is guessing. So let's show that. I shouldn't have come out because I have everything there. Even the salvation of your God is a guess. It's something you cannot trust. The salvation of your God cannot be trusted. I will show you that. The salvation of your God cannot be trusted and should not be trusted. Okay. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. I want you to pay attention. Pay attention real good. Okay. This is from Sahih al-Bukhari. I'm going to go to Sahih al-Bukhari first to show you that the history of your prophet is supporting the Quran. The things that your prophet say in history is also written in your Quran. Uthman fell ill and I nursed him until he died. Remember we were talking about death? Uthman fell ill and I nursed him until he died, and we covered him with his clothes. And I, addressing the dead body, said, I bear witness that Allah have honored you. And that the prophet said, how do you know that Allah has honored him? He, Muhammad, said, by Allah, though I am the apostle of Allah, yet I do not know what Allah will do to me. Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 9, book 58, number 266. Number 266. So Muhammad didn't even know in death what this God will do with him, because Muhammad did not have a God. Muhammad did not have a God. His God is made up from his delusional mind. And there is times when he contemplates about this God that he made up with his possessed demonic mind. Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 9, hadith 111, told us that Muhammad was trying to kill himself because he was trying to escape the delusions of this God that he made up. But that's not the end of it. Let's go to the Quran and see where Muhammad said the very same thing. The very same thing. And who is Muhammad? The excellent example for the people who open the last day. But he, the excellent example, did not know what Allah will do with him when he dies. Did not know. He did not know what Allah. Now let's go to the Quran and I will show you why this man didn't know and was guessing. This is from the Quran. And this is Quran 48, verse 1 to 2. Lo, we have given thee, O Muhammad, a signal of victory, that Allah may forgive thee. That Allah may forgive thee of thy sin, and that the sin that which is past and that which is to come. And these Muslims say Muhammad was sinless. But guess what? Here is the God saying the sin of the past, and that he may, not that he will forgive, that he may forgive him of the sin which is past and that which is to come, and may perfect his favor upon you and may guide you on the right path. Yet this man is an excellent example to follow. Do you see that? Your God is a guessing God. Your God have no, your God have, so you notice what he said here, he says. And I'm showing him that the Quran is proving what the people say about Muhammad. The Quran is showing that Muhammad was not sure of his salvation. The Quran, because what? The God of the Quran was not sure because the God is said that Allah may and perhaps Allah will. That's not only it. It's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. There is a Quranic verse that actually say exactly what Muhammad said. Let me show you. Show you. There is a Quranic verse that shows that Muhammad was not sure of his own salvation. Let me show you. You think it's lie? Okay. Okay. Surah 46. Surah 46, verse 8 to 9. Let me show you this. Surah 46, verse 8 to 9. Read it yourself, Abdul. Surah 46, verse 8 to 9. Surah 46, verse 8 to 9. Here we go. Or do they say he has forged it? So do you see the Quran? Or do they say he has forged it? Say, if I have forged it, you have no power to help me against Allah. So the people were saying that Muhammad was a fraud and he forged the Quran. He was forging the book. The people were constantly saying to him that he forged this book. Some of them even go as far as to say, we have heard some of these things before. These are ancient tales, because they heard these things before. Why? Because Muhammad was stealing from sources, other sources, and I've proven that in other live stream before. But listen to this. He knows very well what you are pressing on. He suffices as a witness between me and you. He is the all-forgiving, the all-compassionate. So, I am not an innovation among the messengers. I know not what shall be done with me or with you. Muhammad don't know what will be done with you, and he don't know what will be done with me. I am only a warner. What is revealed to me, I am only a clear warner. So you don't know what will be done with me and you. And the same thing, when the man died, Muhammad said he didn't know what will happen to him, not the man. So even in death, Muhammad don't know what will happen to him. Muhammad was delusional. As a delusional man. Straight delusional man. So let me see what this guy is saying. So he said, okay, let's see. What he say about perhaps. Perhaps if he decreed. He said, hadith is not revelation. Are you sure? Hadith is not revelation. Are you sure, Abdul? Are you sure that hadith is not revelation? How did Muhammad know that the hour will not come until the Muslim fight the Jew if it was a revelation? Who told him that? And when they were testing Muhammad to see if he was a prophet, and Muhammad said Gabriel told him that a child resemble the parents who ejaculate first. Where did Gabriel get that from? Is that a revelation? The hadith, in most cases, are revelation. That's why they have this one called hadith Qudsi, because they believe those are revelation. Okay, perhaps if he decreed. No, he said perhaps if he decreed. Perhaps if he decreed. So your God is saying perhaps if he decreed. Wow. What translation say that? Perhaps if he decreed. But even that is still perhaps if Allah decreed. So Allah didn't know that he will decree. Are you talking about the man that my God become? That, okay, the man that the son of my God become. You're talking about him not knowing the hour. And you, your God in his totality is worse than this man. It shouldn't be, it is not on the level of this man. I shouldn't say worse. The word shouldn't be used worse. It's not on the level of this man. Do you see that? Your God in his totality is not on the level of this man. Do you see that? Okay, he says Surah 2, verse 2 about salvation. Okay, let's look at Surah 2. Surah 2, verse 2. So let's go to Surah 2, verse 2. Let's see if we can find it there. This is the book of Allah. There is no doubt in it. It is a guidance for the pious. Is that what he says? Allah Madudi. Is that what you say that is the salvation? This is the book of Allah. There is no doubt in it. I have doubt in it. What you mean there is no doubt in it? This is the stupidity of your prophet boasting that there is no doubt in it. What do you mean there is no doubt in it? What do you mean? Surah 33 verse 21 say Muhammad is a perfect example, but yet Muhammad said that he don't know what this God will do with him when he died. And salvation in the Quran. Salvation in the Quran is seen in Surah 2 verse 2. This is the book of Allah. There is no doubt in it. It is a guidance for the pious. Oh, wow. There's no doubt in what? Even Muhammad have doubt in the Quran. There was a time when Muhammad, after getting revelation from your God, was trying to kill himself. So even Muhammad himself have doubt in the Quran. Even Muhammad have doubt. And let me show you that Muhammad have doubt. So this is the surah. Let me show you the people the surah that you Surah 2. So the people need to see what surah you are referring to. It's only fair that the people see the surah that you're referring to. So let's make sure that they see it, because it's fair. It is fair that they see the surah. So here is the surah that this guy is referring to. So this is the surah that the guy is referring to. This is the book of Allah. There is no doubt in it. It is a guidance for the pious. He's saying that who said that there is no doubt in it? This is the same God that said no one can write like him. But I showed you a video yesterday where you tell me that anybody can judge, and we see where Allah lost a bet. So this is the same God that mountain refused. He's saying that this is the book of Allah. There is no doubt in it. It is a guidance for the pious. But the mountain refused to take the book. The mountain didn't want this book. The mountain didn't want this book. And why did man take the book? Let's share that. Let's share that verse with you guys. I will show you why did the man take the book. 33 verse 72. Let's show you why man take Allah's book. I didn't take it. I didn't take it at all. I didn't take it. So, but I want to show you why man take Allah's book. Because I didn't take Allah's book at all. I didn't want it. What I'm showing on the screen right now is Surah 33 verse 77. Indeed, we offer the trust. So the trust include religion, everything, the care of the earth. Indeed, we offer the trust to the heavens and to the earth and to the mountain, and they declined to bear it and fear it. But man undertook it. A man undertook to bear it. Indeed, he was unjust and ignorant. So the only reason they took the only people who take Allah's trust, this is how God revealed the stupidity of Islam. The only people who took Allah's trust is the ignorant and the unjust. And do you see? Now look at this. Compare to this verse. Compare to this verse. This is the book of Allah. There is no doubt in it. It is the guidance for the pious. No, it is the guidance for the unjust and the ignorant. Allah is a donkey, man. Man, if I could catch Muhammad, man, I would show you what I do with Muhammad. Because this is Muhammad's writing. This have nothing to do with no God. You know, I would lovingly, this is what I would do to Muhammad. I'm going to show you what lovingly I would do to Muhammad. Lovingly, this is what I would do to Muhammad. I'm not lying. And I wouldn't do it because I hate him. I would do it because I love him. To get sense in him, I would do this to him. Because this guy Muhammad, something is wrong with this guy. So this is what I would do to Muhammad, if in a loving way, because I think Muhammad needed mother's beating, man. His mother was not around. I think the slave woman that was taking care of Muhammad did not beat Muhammad. The breastfeeding woman. that's that's what Mohammed deserved, man. Mohammed deserved to be beat, to give him some discipline. Mohammed was a rat, man. Do you see the difference? You see the big difference. One book he says for the one is saying for the pious, but the Quran is for the pious. But man took uh, the religious obligation upon himself because he was unjust and foolish. He was unjust and ignorant. So Islam is for the ignorant people. Islam is not for anybody that makes sense. So let's continue to see what this guy is saying. So he said the hadith revealed by who? Revealed through who and by who? Ibn Abbas. People narrated what Ibn Abbas says. And who is Ibn Abbas? According to history, Ibn Abbas is a cousin of Muhammad. People narrated what Muhammad says to narration to Aisha, which is one of Muhammad's wife. You know that. Stop pretending, Abdul. He said, perhaps it's for you. Nah, That's not what the Quran says. He said, perhaps Allah will. He was talking to Muhammad, and he said, perhaps Allah will. Perhaps Allah will. Perhaps Allah will do this. He said that Allah may, perhaps, may. So perhaps it's for who? Perhaps it's not for me. Allah should be saying, if you do this, I will. He shouldn't be like, perhaps Allah will. Perhaps Allah will. I'm not the one speaking. That shows that there is a man speaking in your Quran. Perhaps Allah will. You know, and Allah may do this, and Allah do this, and Allah do that. You know, come on, bro. He said, my laughing proves my desperation. No, my laughing shows how silly your religion is. You're a donkey, man. My laughing show how silly your religion is. Your religion is a very, very silly religion. One moment, he's saying that man take from your God religious obligation and the guidance of the earth and other stuff because he is foolish and ignorant. And then you are going to say that, and then one verse is telling you only the pious and follow this book of Allah. No, it's the foolish and the ignorant follow Allah. You will never see nothing like this in the Bible. You will never see nothing like this. Say, man take from God something because they are ignorant. You will never see that kind of stuff. Man take from God because they are dependent upon God, not because they are ignorant and foolish. A fool takes something from God. A fool, so the mountain was not foolish. The mountain didn't take the religion from God, so the mountain is not foolish. But you take the religion of Allah. That means you're stupid. You're stupid than a mountain. A mountain doesn't have sense. It doesn't have a brain. But you literally, your God is telling you that you're more stupid than a mountain. Muhammad is telling you that you're more stupid than a mountain. Bro, I told you, man, you would not stand a chance with Christian Prince. You want to debate Christian Prince. If you don't stand a chance with me who don't know Arabic, how you gonna debate Christian Prince? Something is wrong with you, man. You're mentally deficient. Your prophet says women are deficient in the brain, but you are deficient. The woman here runs circles around. Even a baby girl will run circles around. That's deficient. Look at this now. Here goes the guy again. He said, I'm not. Read further. Of course, you have, of course, I think he means of course. He said, of course, you have doubt in it. You are not included. Muhammad have doubt in it. He was trying to kill himself. Is Muhammad included? I'm not trying to kill myself because I see that it is stupid. Muhammad have doubt in it and try to kill himself. I was going about killing people who have doubt in it. Do you see that? He himself have doubt in the Quran to the point where he was gonna kill himself, and then he's saying to kill people who leave Islam. The Quran is a book, and Islam is a religion of stupidity. A religion of stupidity for the naive and the gullible and the unaware. So let me put it 3 places. The naive, the gullible, and the unaware. Because a lot of people don't know about Islam as much as I know about Islam. So I would call them the unaware. So he asked a question. Let's see what the question says. Who was the man who took the book? He said, who was the man who took the book? Muhammad was the first one to take the book, and he was suicidal after taking the book. Muhammad was the first man to take the book, and he was suicidal after taking the book. Let me show you. Since you are not aware. You're not aware about the nonsense that your religion is from. And that's why, if I did not know Jesus, my Lord and Savior, and somebody bring your religion to me, and I didn't know nothing about Jesus, after reading all this stuff, I would stay far from Islam. Far, far from Islam. Islam is a stupid cult. So look at this. Look at this, Abdul. Let me show you. Because that's what we do here. You're running from things I don't care about your belief too much. what I care about is speaking the truth. You're running from your own religion. I give everything about your religion. Every single thing. I'm not holding back nothing. But after a few days, Warwick died, and the divine inspiration was also paused for a while, and the prophet became so sad. And we have heard that he intended several times to throw himself from the top of a mountain. And every time he went in order to throw himself down, Jibril would stop him. and guess what? This is the same Jibril that this man believed was Satan. Commanding him for good. He initially believed that Jibril was Satan. And this is Bukhari, volume 9, hadith number 111. So you see that Muhammad took the book and tried to kill himself. Yeah, this one. He said, no warika in the Quran. Of course, because the Quran is a hide and seek book, hiding the truth from you. The Quran is a hide and seek book. Muhammad have a mother, and the mother is not written in the Quran. But Jesus' mother is written in the Quran. I tell you, the Quran have, look, Muhammad have a mother, and his mother is not written in the Quran. You know? Muhammad have a father, and his father is not written in the Quran. But guess what? The Quran make a mistake and confuse Miriam, the sister of Moses, with Miriam, the mother of Isa, and call Miriam father Imran, when it was Moses and Miriam, and Aaron's father is called Imran. So no Jesus in the Quran. You're right, Isa. So why is it the fake Jesus, Isa, mother is mentioned in your Quran, but your prophet mother and father is not mentioned in your Quran? And why is it that Miriam, father, fake father. Miriam, fake father, is mentioned in your Quran, but Muhammad, father, is not mentioned in your Quran. Look at this idiot. He said, yes, my brother, Miriam was the sister of Arun. So Miriam was the sister of Arun. Which Miriam was the sister of Arun? Miriam, the sister of Arun, was also the sister of Moses. And their father was called Imran. But your stupid Quran mixed up Miriam, the mother of Isa, with Miriam, the mother of Miriam, the sister of Arun, and call Miriam, the mother of Isa's father, Imran, when Imran is the father of Miriam, the sister of Arun. Do you see that? And you are my brother. Yeah, you are my brother in humanity. Nowhere more than that. But in my brother in God, you're not. Your God is a fake God from the head of a madman. And that's why I love you, my friend. That's why I love you. And that's why I'm talking to you right now. I might be rough, but that's why I'm talking to you. Because I love you. There's a commandment to love you. I got a commandment to love you. Even my enemy, I got a commandment to love you. Yeah? I have a commandment from the Messiah to love you. And I wouldn't call you an enemy of mine because you have done me no harm, but you are very delusional like Muhammad. And I want you to escape your delusions, to walk away from your delusion, because it's very, very bad for you. It gets you to a point where you have to condemn the history of Muhammad. All these people have history except Muhammad. You go around and you ask, what's the history of Isaiah? You could read the book of Isaiah and he gives some history of Isaiah. He said, what is the book? What is the history of Ezekiel? You read the book of Ezekiel, he gives you some history of Ezekiel. What about Daniel? What about Moses? What about Abraham? They all. Miriam, sister of Aaron in mankind. What? I have no idea what this guy talking about. All I'm saying to you, Isa's mother is called the daughter of Imran. And Isa's mother is called Miriam. But there is another Miriam who is actually the daughter of Imran, because he is the father of Moses, and Moses' sister was Miriam. So your prophet confused the two Miriam. Your prophet, because he was uneducated and did not want to learn from the Jews, instead of go off and learn God from the Jews and learn God from the Christian, what he decided to do, he decided to rob and steal a little there and steal what he didn't understand. So he confused the two Miriam. He confused Miriam, the mother of Isa, with Miriam, the sister of Aaron. So my brother is here. Let me see what my brother said. Gone nuts, for sure. Adamu, Bala, my brother. Yes, he gone nuts. This guy is nuts. Nuts. Totally nuts. So let's see what he say right here. Musa's sister, not named. So who is sister of Arun? Who is Arun? Aaron. Do you see how stupid this guy is? No. I love him, but he's stupid. Listen what he wrote. He's the one who wrote this. Listen what he wrote. I'm going to share what he wrote so you guys could see what he wrote. I need to find it. I need to find it. Did he delete it? I don't think he did. I don't think he can. I don't know. I don't, I don't want to say he did something that he didn't do. He said it's a false laugh, not natural. You would not know if natural was your father, you would not know him. Something is wrong with you. let me find it. Let me find it. Oh boy, why can't I find it? Let me see if I could find it this way. Haroo. There he is. Okay, so hear what he said? Yes, my brother. Miriam was the sister of Aaron. But then look what he said later. Look what he said later. And this is how deceived this guy is. Musa's sister, not named. Musa's sister, not named. Who was Aaron? Who was Aaron? You got busted, man. You, the idiot, want to debate Christian Prince. You're a donkey, man. Christian Prince should have bust you a long time. I'm not on the level of Christian Prince. I'm not even a student of Christian Prince. And look how I bust you. Do you see how I just bust you? Who is Aaron? Aaron is the brother of Musa. So you are saying Musa's sister not named, but you are saying Miriam is the sister of Aaron? What a donkey, man. He said, look at he said, oh my God. Oh my father. He said, Musa and Aaron are different fathers. What a donkey. Oh boy. This is a straight up donkey. Who told this guy that Musa and Aaron are different father? And who told this guy that Miriam is not the sister of Moses? Figure it out. What a delusional. That's why I told people, man, if you want to be stupid, get into deep Islam. See, the people on the surface Islam, they are not stupid. They don't just ignorant and they're not following. They're just following with and don't know much. But a guy like this guy is stupid, like straight up donkey. I'm just telling you the truth. And when I say he's stupid, I'm not talking out of hatred. I'm talking out of love. He's a fool. He's stupid. And because this is not the era for anyone to be ignorant. You know, he asked me for something the other day. Oh no, today he asked me earlier. Today he asked me for something. He asked me, I show him, I tell him that the Hafs Quran, Surah 3, verse 146, is different from the Warsh Quran, Surah 3, 146. He posted the Hafs Quran. So he run to the internet and he posted the Hafs Quran, Surah 3, 146. And I said, what about the Warsh? He would not post it. He's telling me to get it for him because he already saw it. This is what I believe. He already saw that there's a problem. But this is me. I don't spoon feed nobody. If you are grown, the only person I spoon feed is my son and little kids. If you're young, little kids, I spoon feed you. Or someone who doesn't have access to the internet and don't have the access. I give you the fishing line and say, go fish. I teach you to fish. and give you the fishing line. Say, go fish. I'm not going to be, oh, everything I need to give to you. You go fish and find out for yourself. So here he goes again. You got nothing on proof except attacking me. Everybody know you're an idiot. Even Muslim who watch this will see that you're an idiot. I'm not attacking you. I'm just telling you straight up who you are. Let me show you what attack. If you're talking about attack, is what Muhammad did. Rob and steal from his enemies. That's what attack is. What I'm doing is showing you straight up, without no hesitation, straight up, just like the Messiah did to the scribes and Pharisees, that you're an idiot. That's what I'm doing. I'm not attacking you. If I was attacking you, I wouldn't be telling you that I love you. Attack is different from what I'm doing. I'm telling you that you're stupid because you allow yourself to be stupid. You want me to send proof. Send proof of what? In your Quran, who does it say that Arun is? Did your Quran tell you that Arun, since you love the Quran so much, did your Quran tell you that Arun and Musa have different fathers? Did your Quran tell you that? Now provide that proof of what you said, that they are different fathers. The burden of proof lie on you to prove that they are of different fathers. Can you show me? Look how this idiot foolish. He says only stupid recognize stupid. No, a stupid cannot recognize stupid. Do you see how stupid this guy is? Only stupid recognize stupid. No, a stupid cannot recognize stupid. He can't. He's too stupid to recognize stupid. A wise man will recognize stupid. So you are admitting that you're stupid. A wise man is the only that can recognize stupid. So come on, friend. It's not hard to put your Quran to the test and see that it come from a stupid place. It's easy. It is very, very easy. And it's a new month start tomorrow. And a matter of fact, my thing is, I've read the Quran and I've been reading the Quran. But my thing is, I'm going to go in deep into the Quran. Deep into the Quran, deep in the stuff there, deep in the hadith, and show you. I'll show you. This Quran that you boast so much about is nothing but nonsense. Nothing but nonsense. All that I know is that I know nothing. You know nothing. That's cool. That's you're coming closer. You're coming closer. All that I know is that I know nothing. You're coming close. So don't make claim. If you don't know nothing, don't make claim. Arun and Musa, according to your Quran, it doesn't give information that they are different fathers. And according to the Bible, they are of the same father. They all are of the same father. So let me provide that information for you, what I know. It's easy to find that. If you Google it, just put father of Aaron and Moses, and you will see it's easy. Easy to see. And let's show you. Remember you say that Miriam is not Moses' sister. That's what you say. Miriam is not Moses' sister. I actually have that recorded, so you cannot erase it and say you didn't say that, because I have that recorded. And let me show you that when you read the book of Exodus, like if you start reading from Exodus 2 and stuff, you know, it tell you about Exodus 15, it tell you about Miriam as Aaron's sister, but it also in the early portion of Exodus, it was Miriam, the same sister that put Moses in the basket upon the river. You know, so at the end of the day, I don't know how you get to where you get to, but let's see. Let's show you a couple verses in the Bible, and you know, I'm just gonna teach you now. I'm gonna be soft with you because I realize that you don't know too much, and you need to be taught instead of being rough with you. I'm gonna take a softer role with you, and be suffer with you, you know, because you need this in order to learn. You will learn when I'm suffer with you. So I'm gonna be suffer with you. And you know what? It maybe God send you my way, and that's you know. So I'm gonna treat you from today onward. I'm gonna treat you like a brother. I'm just gonna start treating you like I would treat a brother. So no more will I treat you like a fool, but I'm gonna treat you like a brother. So because I have a feeling that God wants you to learn something, maybe for your own destruction, so that you have no excuse, or maybe for your own salvation, because that's how God works. It could be for your own destruction. You have no excuse. So my friend, look at this. This is from First Chronicles. So let me show you. This is from the Bible. This is from First Chronicles. If you look right here, you see First Chronicles 6:1-3. You see that? You know, because when I'm scrolling, I can't make it big. I don't understand it so far yet to make it big, but I'll make it so you can see it now. All right. So here we have First Chronicle 6. The son of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, Merari, the son of Kohath, Amram, see that? Amram, Izhar, Ebram, Uziel, the children of Amram, Aaron, Moses, and Miriam. You see that? The sons of Aaron. And it goes off into the priesthood. So you see that, my friend? So now I'm treating you like a brother. So I'm reasoning with you like a brother. I don't learn from Google. You say you don't learn from Google. That's bad. So what you do? What you do with Google? What you do with Google, my friend? Notice I take a different mode towards you because I see something in you and I realize something. But when you say you don't learn from Google, lies. What does that mean? The same Google that tell lies also tell truth. It's just a place that people put information. And some information are misinformation, while some information are true information. So at the end of the day, you need to have the mindset to know what is misinformation, malinformation. What is malinformation and what is true information. That's all you do. Muslim put things in Google. You could find the Quran in Google. So you're calling the Quran a lie? Think about what you say before you say it. This is not how you reason, man. You're not reasoning. You know, as a brother, I'm telling you, think about what you say, because I'm treating you like I adopt you as a brother, and I'm treating you like my brother. I won't. He said I won't erase it. Okay, and I believe you. So you said you won't erase it. That means you won't erase what you already have said. But it was recorded in my video anyway. So if you erase it, I could easily find it in my video. But you see that historically, it's been written that Aaron and Moses and Miriam are brothers and sisters, whether they are the same mother, father, but we know that their father is here, show that their father is one father. So if you want to say they are different mothers, you maybe could say that, but to say that they are different fathers, there's no historical proof of that. He said the Bible is a corrupt book. That's what you Muslims say to yourself to escape thinking that you have something that is not corrupt. You know? To escape thinking that you have something that is not corrupt. But my question to you is, what's your proof that the Bible is corrupt? What is your proof that the Bible is corrupt? And you're going to run off and show verses, variance in verses. But I show you today that there's variances in verses in your own Quran. Your own Quran, Hafs Quran, and Wash Quran have variances in their verses. And when you look in my Bible, the God of my Bible didn't tell you that, oh, I will protect everything line by line or this or that and that. He protect his word, his words, the law that he gave. But the history of man can have variances in it. And all the variances that you will find in the Bible, most of these variances are in the history of the mankind. Like, oh, and the number of Israel was this and this and that. That's not salvation. So I don't care what that says. You know, it's just read as a historical background to what God does. And men can make mistakes in these things. You know, I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff. But your Quran said that your God will protect your Quran, and I show you that your Quran have errors in it. So what is wrong with your God? So you say, who was Moses and Aaron's father? I just prove it to you. Amram. Amram is the father of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. So they all have the same father. And this is what you say. Amram was concocted. But your Quran of Imran, the Arabic version of Amran. Something is wrong with you, friend. Yes, Google teach you about fake moon landing, spherical Earth, and aliens. Lies. Friend, spherical Earth. Why is it you don't believe the Earth is spherical? What you do? Believe the Earth is flat? All I can say to you, my friend, my sinus. All I can say to you, my friend, Google can teach you a lot of things, and Google can a lot of bad things, and Google can teach you a lot of good things. It's for you to know what is good and what is bad, you know, because your Quran that you believe is good can be found on Google. That's where I'm reading your Quran from. That's actually where I'm reading your Quran from. Apart from my own resources where I copy and paste from Google, your Quran from Google, you know, the Sahih International that I read is from Google. The Hadith that I read is from Google. So I don't know what's going on with you. You know, you have to think before you speak, bro. You say, what is historical source? You need to look up historical evidence. Historical source is anything that shows how people perceive things before us. Anything that shows that how people perceive things before us, or people see things before us, or things will transcend to people before us, or things what happened before us. So historically, before your Quran, this is what the Jews, whose ancestor Moses is their ancestor. This is what they believe. This is what they believe. So how do you believe that you know more than the Jews when it comes to Moses? How do you believe that Muhammad know more than the Jews when it comes to Moses? Do you believe that? No. Muhammad doesn't know more than the Jew. Anything that is written is historical, friend. Anything that is written is historical. Anything is written. If you write a poem, that's a historical thing, because later it become a part of history that was written as a poem. So at the end of the day, you know, if Jamaicans, if you're talking about the history of Jamaica, I'm a Jamaican. If you're talking about the history of Jamaica, and somebody tell you there was a time when Jamaicans used to do this and used to do that, are you gonna say that's a lie when you have no proof that it is a lie? So this is the way the Jews look at things. And let's even go further, because that's not the only thing that we can show. That's not the only thing that we can show. So let's even go further than that. What you're trying to do, you're trying to put the Quran above things that was before the Quran, and it doesn't work that way, because you believe your Quran is from God, but your Quran is not from a God. It's so, the Quran itself, you just could see that this is not from nobody, but a person and various people. The Quran is from various people. You could tell that there was some slight intelligence in some places of the Quran, but there is other places where you look and say, what is going on here? So it depends on the source that Muhammad was stealing from. It depends on the source that Muhammad was stealing from. So if you look at, so I gave you Chronicles as one, Chronicles 2 as one. So this is the very book that you're so let's see what this says. Here we go. Now I'm going to show you this. And this is why the Bible make more sense than your Quran. Your Bible make all the sense, but your Quran make no sense. So you remember I call these names of your Quran don't even mention Muhammad as a descendant of Ishmael. It don't. Look at this, my friend. The son of Kohath were Amram. Do you see the name Amram here? And it mentioned the same sons that First Chronicle mention. And this is how traditions are passed down. Not the way your Quran decide to do things. The way your Quran decide to do things is deception. Total deception. So you see, the sons of Kohath were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, Uziel, and it's showing that Kohath lived this amount of year. And who was this Kohath? This Kohath is the father of Amram. And who is this Amram? Amram is the father of Moses, and the father of Aaron, and the father of Miriam, according to the Bible. And this is why I know historically the Bible makes sense. Your Quran doesn't make no sense, because here's this Muhammad in your Quran. But if you were supposed to rely on your Quran, we don't know who this Muhammad is. Just relying on your Quran alone, who is Muhammad? Somebody reading your Quran without no history will say, who is this person? No history at all. Who is this person? So, but you are running from the history of Muhammad, because what? The history make you look bad. Your religion look bad. You're hiding from your religion. You're totally hiding from your religion. And I expect you to. I expect you to hide from your religion, because your religion make no sense. It make no sense at all. So, and if you look, continue, you will see, right through the book of Chronicles, and what Chronicle is. If you look at what Chronicle is, if you look at somebody talking about Chronicle, what the word Chronicle means, you know that Amram is the one of the son of Kohath, along with Izhar and Hebron and Uziel. So, what about if we go to Exodus? What about if we go to Exodus 6, verse 20? What would happen if we go there? And this is why the Bible makes more sense to me than your Quran. Not this is why, but this is one of the reasons. The sons of Kohath were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and so we read that already. Amram married his father's sister. So he married to his father's sister, Jochebed, who bore him Aaron and Moses, and Amram lived. And a lot of you Muslims will say, oh, he married to his father's sister. And you, oh, who is that? What do you mean he married to his father's sister? There was no law against who you married in those days. So even if his father's sister was his literal father's sister, there was no law against who you married in those days. The law came later. So, and another thing too, a sister don't have to be a literal sister in the sense, because we know that Abraham and what's his name? Abraham and Lot. Abraham was Lot's uncle, but there are verses that call Abraham the brother of Lot. And one of the reasons is they are from the same lineage. And if they are from the same lineage, they're from one common ancestor, they can be seen as brothers or sisters, because that's the way the old Jewish thing works. So you don't have to be his literal father's sister, but it could be. I'm not saying that it is not, but it doesn't have to be. So we see that Moses and Aaron have the same father, according to the book of Exodus. That's history for you, friend. Your Quran have none of that kind of history. Your Quran is just, I don't know what to call your Quran. So let's see what you say. Where did Jesus say, I and the Father are one? You know that already. I'm not going to answer that. How will you know if you must Google? How will you know if you must Google? What does that mean? How will you know if you must Google? What does that mean? Oh, wow. You can learn from Google. You can learn from Google. Just like I'm Googling and teaching you right now, you can learn from that. I don't know what you mean. You're not making much sense, my brother. I'm calling you my brother because I adapt you. I adapt you as a brother, like adopted brother. And I will not sleep with your wife like Muhammad sleep with his adopted son's wife. Perceiving to see things is historical. Wow. I think you get what I was saying wrong, friend. That's been a while ago. So Jews got no original material, and Muslim got. And you got it. Jews got no original material, but you got it. Oh boy, you got the original material. Let me show you something. Because you're just fighting yourself, and that you don't really see that. So the Jews got no original material, but Muslim got it. Let me show you something. And this is what you're running from. That's why you must always run. Let me show you something. I'm gonna show you something. Okay. So let me show you something. Let me take this off so you can see properly. Historically, this is what happened to your prophet. Your prophet says, according to Quran 3 verse 3 and Quran 5 verse 44, your prophet says it is God that gave the Torah. And Muhammad once took the Torah from the Jews and placed it on a cushion he was sitting on, and he talked to the Torah saying, I believe in you, Sunan Abu Dawud 44:49 and 44:31. So he talked to the Torah that the Jews have, the one that the Jews have. And the Torah that the Jews have spread abroad in the time of Muhammad. The time of Muhammad, in the AD 600s, AD 700s, the Torah is all over the world. The Torah was not only with the Jews. So we know the Torah that the Jews had. And Muhammad took that Torah and said, I believe in you. He talked to the Torah. He said, I believe in you. Whether you believe it or not, that is historical proof that came from Sunan Abu Dawud. People say, Muslims say Muhammad did that. So do you see that? Said he believed in the Torah. He said no original Torah around today. Prove that. That's not something you cannot prove. You're just talking, friend. No original Torah is around today. This is and when Muslims say these things, they just show how careless their God is and worthless. You know, it's a worthless God, because at the end of the day, when the God is saying Muhammad is found in the Torah, but they cannot. There's no Torah around. The Quran is saying that Muhammad is found in the Torah, but the God is not capable of preserving not one single Torah for us to see Muhammad in the Torah. But we're supposed to find Muhammad in the Torah. And the God said Muhammad is found in the Injil, but he could not preserve the Injil so that us to see that, hey, yes, he's speaking the truth. It will show that your God is a liar and a nobody at all. So you say, we talk again. I got what I needed. All right, my friend. God bless you. And when I say God, I'm talking about the triune God. Because your God cannot bless anyone. God bless you. I'll pray for you, man. So I'm going to say peace out and God bless everyone who listen and watch. You know, I hope somebody learned something from this, you know, and I hope somebody will share this. And please subscribe to the channel, man. Let the channel grow, because we, you know, we could get somewhere with this channel, you know. I'm learning and other people are learning, you know. He said no. So he said no Injil around today. And what did I say before? It shows that your God is a nobody, because your God said Muhammad is found in the Injil, but he cannot preserve the Injil around today so that we could see Muhammad in the Injil. It just shows that there's a fraud in your God. That's poetry right there. Better poetry than the Quran. There's a fraud in your God, and Jesus is the one with the reward. Yeah. That's kind of childish, right? But I love it. Anyway, before I'm a beat, you know, I would beat up on your God a little more, but I'm gonna give praises to my God. All praises to the triune God, the God who is above all God, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to talk straight with clarity. So God bless everyone who will watch this and everyone who will share this and everyone out there in the world. And we are praying for the people of Ukraine so that they will, Muhammad have done things like this to people, you know, and we're praying for the people of Ukraine so that they will see peace in this time. And we're praying for Vladimir, you know, we're praying for Putin so that God will soften Putin's heart to see that what he's doing to the people of Ukraine is wrong. And even praying for him to find the Lord Jesus and to, you know, be a stalwart for God Almighty, and someone who would put all that energy that he is putting into hatred into teaching God's word. And, you know, there would be a beautiful thing. Anyway, so what he says, word to those who write the book with their own hands. Muhammad was talking to himself. the people around him was saying that he was pirating and writing books with his own hand. Muhammad was talking to himself. You know, when he said woe to the people who word to the people who wrote the book with their own, he was talking to himself. he was writing the book with his own hand. That you could see from what I read today, you know that this is not from God Almighty. So he was talking to himself. You can't trust a delusional man. You know, we don't know when you should trust a delusional person. You could listen to them and try to help them, but can you trust what they say, that it is the truth? And you scrutinize it and find, and you realize that it's not the truth, because Muhammad play around with Satan too much. So woe be unto them who write the book. Muhammad said Satan was commanding him. It could be Satan that was saying that. So let's look at something. Let's go out on this note, since the guy say woe be unto them who write the book. Let's go out on this note right here. So who was saying woe be unto them who write the book? Was it this man? Narrated Aisha, once the prophet was bewitched, so that he began to imagine he had done a thing which in fact he had not done. So when he was saying woe be unto them who write the book, was he delusional? With their hands. Which book did they write? The Torah was in our world, the Western world, had the Torah. So which book did they write? And when did they write it? Who write the book with their hand? He didn't say wrote. He didn't say right. Is it right? Is past tense or present? Come on, friend. You know, you can't escape wisdom, man. Wisdom is above your Quran and all that stuff. So I'm gonna say peace out and God bless you all, man. I have a very tedious week of working, trying to help out at 2 different jobs, short nurses. So I have a tedious work week. So the next time I make a video, oh, you know what? She called me and say they only need me on Thursday for that one job. So it might be, I might be making more videos. I forget that they called me earlier. So anyway, I got to go to work tonight. So I'm going to chill out before I go to work. So I say peace and blessing of God be with you all, man. Everyone who watched this video, subscribe to my channel, man. Help it to grow. You know, trying to grow it is slowly, but I'm this guy don't give up. I'm a guy don't give up at all. You know, because I think this is necessary. Anyway, I want to say peace out and I love you all. Even to the ones that, you know, I call a fool and all that, I love you. You know, I had to just tell you the straight truth, you know, but there is different levels of reasoning, you know, and sometimes you reason like a brother, sometimes you reason like on another level. You reason like you're reasoning with people who are opposing the truth, you know, and sometimes you reason on a different level. So anyway, God bless you all, man, and our praises to God Almighty.